All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little San Francisco Giant video. Farhan Zaidi has struck, and you've heard of this player. That right there is intriguing. All right, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle. And we're also sponsored by Sharp Corners Sporting Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California. Give Anthony Catania a call at 831-521-5264. We're also brought to you by ValleyHillRoofing.net. If you're looking for a top-tier roofer, ValleyHillRoofing.net is for you. 209-481-6851. Both of their websites are linked in the description. All right, let's talk a little San Francisco Giants. I've been ripping the tar out of Farhan Zaidi because his offseason has been a joke. But he did make a nice move in the last couple days, and let's talk about it. Let's give him equal time for when he does something that we really love. The Giants have signed Jorge Soler to a multi-year contract. I believe it's a 3-year contract for $42 million. The hang-up was, would the Giants go to a third year? But, I really like Soler. He's 31. He's born in Havana. He's a Cuban professional baseball player who really is a designated hitter. He can play the corner outfield spot, but he's a DH. He's played in the bigs for the Cubs, the Royals, the Braves, and the Marlins. And this guy's got huge power. And not only that, he's fun to watch. And not only that, he does well at Oracle Park. So why the heck not? He played for the Cuban national team in international competition, and then defected from Cuba in 2011, and he sought a career in MLB, and he established his residency like many Cuban players do in Haiti, and then signed a 9-year contract with the Cubbies, and he made his major league debut in 2014, and then won the 2016 World Series with them, and they traded him to the Royals in that offseason. He then led the American League in home runs in 2019, traded to Atlanta in 2021, and that was a phenomenal addition because Soler helped the Braves win the World Series, and then he won the World Series MVP. How about that? And then signed with the Marlins before the 2022 season. So this guy's got major right-handed power. Big kid. He's 31. I can't call him kid. He's a 31-year-old at this point. He's 6'4", about 220, 225, sculpted, power hitting, right-handed hitter, can play some right field. When he came up, Baseball America said he had 5-tool potential and likely would have been a top 5 pick in the 2010 draft had he been eligible. But instead, he was not eligible. And he wound up signing out of Cuba. And some teams preferred Soler to Yoenis Cespedes at the time. That Soler had the talent of a top 5 draft choice. Keith Law made that declaration earlier. Early in Soler's lineage there, saying that this guy's a 5-star guy. And he kind of started off on the wrong foot with the Cubbies. He failed to report to minor league camp shortly after signing his 9-year, $30 million deal, feeling that he should be in Chicago immediately. And the other scare for the Cubs was his inability to hit right-handed pitching. But you're also talking about a guy who is now, that was years ago. He's now smoothed out the edges. If you're one of these guys that loves launch speed off the bat, this guy's going to give it to you. 91-mile-an-hour launch speed off the bat in 2016. So the Cubs sign him to a long-term deal, and he's still got to work his way through their farm system, and does. And then in August of 2014, they called him up for the first time, and in 32 games for Iowa before his call-up, he had hit .282 with 8 home runs. And in his major league debut, going up against Matt Latos, he hit a home run in his first major league at-bat. 117th player in Major League Baseball history to homer in his first at bat. So he's got big right-handed power. Will he strike out some? Sure. Yeah, he's going to strike out a little bit. December of 2016, the Cubs traded him for Wade Davis, the right-handed reliever, so he went to the Royals. And, so he was there with the Royals in the 2020 in the pandemic season, only at 228. And then at the beginning of the 2021 season with Kansas City, he's hitting 192. And then in July of 2021, Soler gets traded to the Braves for Casey Kalich and totally, turned his whole season around. Hit a pinch hit, go-ahead home run in the seventh inning to give the Braves a 3-2 lead in the World Series, which led them to a 3-1 lead in the series. In Game 6, he hit his third home run of the series, 446 feet, 3-run shot to give the Braves a 3-0 lead. So he was named World Series MVP in the Braves' 6-game victory, becoming the second Cuban-born player to win the award after ex-Giant Livan Hernandez. And then in March of 2022, he signed a 3-year deal with the Marlins. He made the All-Star game in 2023, hit 36 home runs and drove in 75. And then he opted out of his $13 million contract to become a free agent before the season. So, he's a big, forceful, right-handed power hitter. I say forceful, and this guy hits it a ton. And he's married. He's a outstanding talent. To me, this is the kind of guy that you're not going to want to miss his at bats. He's a big, powerful guy who can hit the ball a long way, and he's got good numbers playing at Oracle Park, and so he's not fearful of playing at Oracle Park. In some ways, I love this move to some of the bigger moves that they could have made in the offseason just because the price is right and Soler, could produce significantly. So I really like that addition. You lose Jock Peterson. He goes to the Diamondbacks. You need a bat with some power, and now you got one in Jorge Soler. The Giants finally have a guy who can hit 3, 4, 5 in their lineup and hit the ball over the ballpark, out of the ballpark and be an extra base threat. So I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this guy every day. I'm excited because you're talking about a guy. Giants haven't had a 30 home run bat since Barry freaking Bonds. And now they have one in Jorge Soler. And I'd love to see them, back it up with another addition. You want to go get Cody Bellinger? By all means, do. You want to trade for somebody? I'd be in favor of that. You want to go sign a Matt Chapman? I'd rather them not, because I'd like to see them give Casey Schmidt third base and let the young left side of the infield of Schmidt and Luciano just kind of blossom together. I'm not even convinced that Chapman would outperform Casey Schmidt, but either way, the Giants now have at least one major bat in their lineup, and if they could get one more, they're not that far away from being in contention. The other move that they made in the last couple of days is they picked up Amir Garrett. So now you got another power lefty in your pen. If Jordan Hicks winds up in the pen, you could have, Garrett and Hicks leading into Duvall. That's 3 of the better arms in the sport, all in one bullpen. So that's kind of intriguing. The big question for me now is, the Kyle Harrisons, the Carson Wisenhunts, the Mason Blacks, the guys that are young starting pitching arms in the Giants system. Are they ready to graduate to the big leagues and help this team contend this year? Or do the Giants need to go after, Snell or another, starting pitcher or two to try to round out their rotation before Alex Cobb and Robbie Ray get healthy in the middle of the year? The Giants also made one trade today. They traded for outfielder Otto Lopez. He comes over from Toronto for cash, and to create a roster spot for him, TJ Hopkins, who they had picked up earlier this offseason, was DFA'd. Farhan's got to lead the universe in that. I mean, that's the other part of this that makes the fans feel like he doesn't really have any conviction. He'll pick up a guy and talk him up 3 weeks before he DFAs him. And this is how many times have the Giants picked up a player in the Sabian era and then DFA'd that same player within a month or two? Farhan's done that same move like about 10 times. I don't know that Sabian and Coletti ever did that move, but they DFA'd TJ Hopkins for the outfielder Otto Lopez. Lopez is his versatility is his game. He's pretty athletic. He's kind of a weak hitter, kind of more of a ground ball slap hitter. But that happened today as well. The Giants added Otto Lopez. They added Amir Garrett yesterday. They added Jorge Soler yesterday. And the Giants, if they could pick up a Bellinger, man, that would really be nice. If they could add 1 or 2 more pieces of significance, who knows? Maybe they'll contend, but I love this pickup. If you're going to rip Farhan for his disaster moves, then you got to credit Farhan when he makes a damn good move. And getting Jorge Soler for 3 years and $39 million or whatever it is, I think that's a great move. Great move by Farhan. All right, that does it for the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to our other sponsors as well. Thanks to you guys for sponsoring and supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.